Hello Internet. In this video I would like to talk about how I made this fast style ballistic helmet on a fairly tight budget at home. So to give you an idea, this whole thing, excluding the hearing protection, cost me about 1100 Polish zloty. That comes to around 250 euros. Or if you live across the pond, that's 300 bucks. It's not quite finished. I still have to install this shroud and drill a few holes to do it. But this is how it looks roughly. The outer shell is made of aramid fibers, and the guts here, this is all recycled from an airsoft replica of a helmet. Fairly comfortable, to be honest. It's I took one of the better quality ones. So that's the whole thing. So, how do I know that this is ballistic resistant? I did some testing on samples of the material I used, using different configurations. On the first sample, it pierced right through. And the mistake I made here is that I layered the material one on top of the other, and this resulted in it getting torn in straight lines. So what I learned from that is that you need to cross it like that. It's at a 45-degree angle, and this prevents the problem. So voila. And on the final sample I didn't have this issue. Of course, when I did the test, there was a bullet jacket stuck in there somewhere. But it resisted 9mm while being set on a sandbank, so I think this is all the resistance you need, really. Now let's talk about the level of protection. Of course, I'm not expecting it to be on par with something done by professionals. So this may be able to stop the old bullet in theory, but for the most part I wanted something that's capable of stopping frag in case an artillery shell explodes nearby and there's stones flying everywhere. In modern warfare, this is what's killing the most people, as far as I'm aware. So that's that. So the helmet itself is reasonably light for what it is. Without the Peltor, it comes to around 1400 grams. Of course, you can find some issues here and there. The rails, for example, are a big problem. I had to use zip ties because the fitting was a bit too loose for the mount here. Now let's talk about how it's made. So what I use is this epoxy resin. Bought it at a shop that's selling supplies for yacht repairs. And I also found the aramid fabric there. Used 26 layers in total. And also I have this, what remains of the airsoft replica of a helmet. This I used as a mold in order to create a negative using plaster. So essentially what I did, I put it in a plastic bag, trash bag, filled it with plaster, and waited until it settles. And then I have like a plaster mold on which I could laminate the aramid fibers. So in order to avoid having the mold being glued to the fabric, what I use is just this stretch. This is a non-stick surface, so it's prevented it from staying on the mold. Hopefully, if I still have some editing skills, now the screen will show an image of how I prepared the fabric and the mold. Of course, after that I laminated the fabric, and as I said, I used a 45-degree angles between layers. In an ideal setting, I would be able to remove any bubbles using a vacuum machine, apply pressure with an autoclave. But given that I have no access to fancy gear like that, I just put some tape on the whole thing while it was laminating, and I believe this helped keeping it all in place while the resin was curing. Then, after letting it cure overnight, I was left with a lot of cleanup work to do. I had to remove all the excess fabric that was stuck inside the helmet. The edges themselves I cut to the right fit using a jigsaw. And after that, it's pretty straightforward. You just drill the holes in order to install the fittings. You paint it. In order to have nicer edges, I just use some duct tape. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening to me ramble for, I don't know, 5 good minutes. Excuse my poor English, it's my third language, so it's not the best. And let me know if you have any questions. Have a nice day. Cheers.